Dear students, Sat Shri Akal Ji, most welcome in Creative Guruji. Please subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon for latest video notifications. Science, Class 10th, Chapter 1, Chemical Reactions and Equations. Introduction. First of all, let us look at the definition of chemistry. Chemistry is defined as the branch of science which deals with the composition and properties of matter and changes that matter undergone by various interactions. I hope you understood the definition of chemistry. Now we introduce the chapter. Consider the following situations of daily life and think. What happens when milk is left at room temperature during summer? Answer is, when the milk is left at the room temperature during summer season, the oxidation reaction occurs and the growth of microorganisms occur, due to which it gets soaked. Also, it starts forming cracks and is easily visible on the top of the vessel. That milk is actually left of no use in terms of consumption. You may use it to apply on hair. Think about next situation. What happen when an iron tawa, pan, nail is left exposed to humid atmosphere? Answer is, when iron item like tawa, pan or nails are left exposed to humid atmosphere, you can find reddish brown coating on them. In all these situations, the nature of the initial substance have somewhat changed, like milk and iron items. We have already learned about physical and chemical changes of matter in our previous classes. Whenever a chemical change occurs, we can say that a chemical reaction has taken place. First of all, we will clear which condition determined a chemical reaction has taken place. Any of the following observations help us to determine whether a chemical reaction has taken place. First one, change in state. Let's also look at an example to understand this. Change of state. Some chemical reactions are characterized by a change in state, that is solid, liquid or gas. Two volumes of hydrogen gas react with one volume of oxygen gas to form water. 2H2 plus O2 gives 2H2O. In bracket, letter like G or L represents the gaseous state and liquid state. Similarly, S represents for solid state. In this chemical reaction, gases convert to liquid. It means change of state occur. It means substance changes from gaseous state to liquid state. Similarly, when electric current is passed through water, it split into its elements. 2H2O on passing the electric current gives 2H2 plus O2, means water changes to hydrogen and oxygen gas. Second one, change in color. Now look at an example. When copper carbonate, which is green in color, is heated strongly, it leaves behind a black residue. CuCO3 gives on heat CuO plus CO2. CuCO3 is copper carbonate which is green in color. CuO copper oxide black in color. It means substance change its color. Third one, evolution of a gas. Example of evolution of gas. When zinc metal is treated with dilute sulfuric acid, hydrogen gas is evolved. The hydrogen gas burn with a pop sound. Okay, Zn plus H2SO4 gives ZnSO4 plus H2, which is hydrogen gas, and it burns with a pop sound. Last one, change in temperature. Example of change in temperature: when quickly calcium oxide is placed in water, the water becomes very hot and sometimes start boiling. It is because of release of heat energy during the reaction. CaO plus H2O gives CaOH2 plus heat energy. It means in this reaction temperature change. All the conditions determine a chemical reaction has take place is very important to understand the chapter, and it is also very important for examination point of view. As we observe the change around us, we can see that there is a large variety of chemical reaction taking place around us. We will study about the various types of chemical reactions and their symbolic representations in this chapter. Before going to chemical reactions and type of chemical reactions, first of all, understand some basic terms or things like chemical equations. When a magnesium ribbon is burnt in oxygen, it gets converted to magnesium oxide. This description of a chemical reaction in a sentence form is quite long. It can be written in a shorter form. The simplest way to do this is to write it in the form of a word equation. The word equation for the above reaction would be magnesium plus oxygen gives magnesium oxide. The substance that undergoes chemical change in the reaction, magnesium and oxygen, are the reactants. The new substance, magnesium oxide formed during the reaction, is the product. In brief, we can say the word equations. A word equation links together the names of the reactants with those of the products. A word equation shows change of the reactants to product through an arrow placed between them. The reactants are written on the left hand side with a plus sign between them. Similarly, products are written on the right hand side with a plus sign between them. The arrowhead points towards the product and shows the direction of the reaction. Writing a chemical equation by using symbols. Is there any other shorter way for representing chemical equations? Yes, chemical equations can be made more concise and useful if we use chemical formula instead of words. A chemical equation represents a chemical reaction. If you recall formula of magnesium, oxygen and magnesium oxide, the above word equation can be written as Mg plus O2 gives MgO. This is symbolic equation. It is short as compared to word equation. Symbolic equation can be easily remembered. After completing chemical equations in word form and symbolic form, now we will move to our next topic, unbalanced and balanced chemical equations. First one, unbalanced chemical equation. In an unbalanced equation, the number of atoms of different elements on both sides of the equation are not equal. In an unbalanced equation, the number of atoms of different elements on both sides of the equations are not equal. For example, Mg plus O2 gives MgO. Count and compare the number of atoms of each element on the left hand side and right hand side of the arrow. Is the number of atoms of each element same on both sides? No. In the above equation, the number of Mg atoms on both sides of the equation is 1, same. But the number of oxygen atoms are not equal. It is known as an unbalanced equation. The equation is unbalanced because the mass is not the same on both sides of the equation. Such a chemical equation is a skeletal chemical equation for a reaction. The above equation is a skeletal chemical equation for the burning of magnesium in air. Now move to the balanced chemical equation. From the law of conservation of mass can neither be created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction. That is, the total mass of the elements present in the product of a chemical reaction has to be equal to the total mass of the elements present in the reactants. In other words, the number of atoms of each element remains the same before and after a chemical reaction. Importance of a balanced chemical equation. The balancing of a chemical equation is essential or necessary to fulfill the requirement of law of conservation of mass. On the base of this discussion, we can say that in a balanced equation, the number of different elements on both sides of the equation are always equal. The balanced equation for the burning of magnesium ribbon in oxygen is written as 2Mg plus O2 gives 2 MgO. 2 Mg plus O2 gives 2 MgO. In other words, we can also say that balancing of chemical equation may be defined as the process of making the number of different types of elements on both sides of the equations equal. Balancing of chemical equation may be defined as the process of the making of the number of different types of elements on both sides of the equations equal. Now let us learn about balancing a chemical equation step by step. Suppose the world equation for a reaction may be represented as zinc plus sulfuric acid gives zinc sulfate plus hydrogen. The above world equation may be represented by the following chemical equation. Zn plus H2SO4 gives ZnSO4 plus H2. Zn plus H2SO4 gives ZnSO4 plus H2. Let us examine the number of atoms of different elements on both sides of the arrow. Now we draw a table having 3 columns. First column for element, second column for number of atoms in reactant on left hand side, third column for number of atoms in product on right hand side. First element is Zn. Number of Zn atom in reactant is 1. Number of Zn atom in product is also 1. Second element is H. Number of H atom in reactant are 2 and the number of H atom in product are also 2. Third element is S. Number of S atom in reactant is 1 and also number of S atom in product is also 1. And last one O. Number of O atom in reactant are 4 and also number of O atom in product are 4. As the number of atoms of each element is the same on both sides of the arrow, therefore equation is a balanced chemical equation. For balancing a chemical equation, there are 7 steps. Now let us try to balance the following chemical equation. Fe plus H2O gives Fe3O4 plus H2. One by one with 7 steps. Step first, to balance a chemical equation, first draw boxes around each formula. Do not change anything inside the boxes while balancing the equation, just like as shown on screen. Step 2. List the number of atoms of different elements present in the unbalanced equation. Now we draw a table having 3 columns. First column for element, second column for number of atoms in reactant on left hand side, third column for number of atoms in product on right hand side. First element in the chemical equation is Fe. Number of Fe atom in reactant is 1. Number of Fe atom in product are 3. Second element in the chemical equation is H. Number of H atom in the reactant are 2. Number of H atom in the products are also 2. Third element O. Number of O atom in the reactant is 1. Number of O atom in the product are 4. Step 3. It is often convenient to start balancing with compound that contains the maximum number of atoms. It may be a reactant or a product. In that compound, select the element which has the maximum atom. Using these criteria, we select Fe3O4 and the element oxygen in it. There are 4 oxygen atoms on the right hand side and only 1 on the left hand side. To balance the oxygen atom, we draw a table having 3 columns. First column, atoms of oxygen. Second, 4 atoms of oxygen in reactant. Third, 4 atoms of oxygen in product. First, initially, atoms of oxygen in reactant is 1 in H2O and the atoms of oxygen in product 4 in Fe3O4. At final, when we balance the oxygen atom, there are 4 atoms of oxygen in reactant and in product already 4 atoms of oxygen are present. To equalize the number of atoms, it must be remembered that we cannot alter the formula of the compounds or elements involved in the reaction. For example, to balance oxygen atom, we can put coefficient 4 as 4H2O and not H2O4 or H2O in bracket, then write 4. Now the partly balanced equation becomes Fe plus 4H2O gives Fe3O4 plus H2. Step 4. Fe and H atoms are still not balanced. Pick any of these elements to proceed further. Let us balance hydrogen atom in the partly balanced equation. To equalize the number of H atom, make the number of molecules of the hydrogen as 4 on the right hand side. Now draw a table having 3 columns: atoms of hydrogen in reactant and atoms of hydrogen in product. Initially 8 atoms of hydrogen in reactant in 4H2O and 2 atoms of hydrogen in product in H2. For balancing it, 8 atoms of hydrogen atom in reactant already present, and in product we multiply the 2 atoms of hydrogen with 4, which becomes 8. The balanced equation would be Fe plus 4H2O gives Fe3O4 plus 4H2. Step 5. Examine the above equation and pick up the third element which is not balanced. You find that only one element is left to be balanced, that is iron, Fe. Draw a table having 3 columns. First column atoms of iron, second column atoms of iron in reactant, and third column for atoms of iron in product. Initially atoms of Fe in reactant is 1 in Fe and atoms of Fe in product is 3 in Fe3O4. For balancing it, we multiply the 1 atom of Fe by 3 in the reactant and 3 atoms of Fe already present in the product. To equalize Fe, we take 3 atoms of Fe on the left hand side and the equation becomes 3Fe plus 4H2 gives Fe3O4 plus 4H2. Step 6. Finally, to check the correctness of the balanced equation, we count atoms of each element on both sides of the equation. The chemical equation is 3Fe plus 4H2O gives Fe3O4 plus 4H2. The number of atoms of elements on both sides of the equation are equal. This equation is now balanced. This equation of balancing chemical equations is called hit and trial method, as we make trials to balance the equation by using the smallest whole number coefficient. And the last step, step 7, writing symbols of physical states. Carefully examine the above balance equation. Does this equation tell us anything about the physical state of each reactant and product? No information has been given in this equation about their physical states. To make a chemical equation more informative, the physical states of the reactants and products are mentioned along with their chemical formula. The gaseous, liquid, aqueous and solid states of reactant and products are represented by the notations G, L, AQ and S respectively. The word aqueous is written if the reactant or product is present as a solution in water. The balanced equation becomes 3Fe bracket S plus 4H2O bracket G gives Fe3O4 bracket S plus 4H2O bracket G. Note that the symbol G is used with H2O to indicate that in this reaction water is used in the form of steam. Physical states are not included in a chemical equation unless it is necessary to specify them. After completing unbalanced chemical equations and balanced chemical equations, now we move to our next topic, types of chemical reactions. We have learnt in our previous class that during a chemical reaction, atoms of one element do not change into those of another element, nor do atoms disappear from the mixture or appear from elsewhere. Actually, chemical reaction involves the breaking and making of bonds between atoms to produce new substances. Let's start the types of chemical reactions. First type of chemical reactions, combination reactions. Definition of combination reaction. A combination reaction is a reaction where two or more substance, element or compounds combine to form a single compound. Okay. Such reactions may be represented by equation A plus V gives AB. For example, calcium oxide reacts with water to produce slaked lime, calcium hydroxide, releasing a large amount of heat. CaO plus H2O gives Ca in bracket OH 2. In this reaction, calcium oxide and water combine to form a single product, calcium hydroxide. Such a reaction in which a single product is formed from two or more reactants is known as a combination reaction. Some more examples of combination reactions. First one, burning of coal. C plus O2 gives CO2. Second one, formation of water from hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. 2H2 plus O2 gives 2H2O. Next type of chemical reaction, decomposition reaction. Definition of decomposition reaction. A decomposition reaction is a type of chemical reaction in which a single compound breaks down into two or more compounds or elements. Such reactions may be represented by equation AB gives A plus B. Decomposition reactions can be classified into three types: thermal decomposition reactions, electrolytic decomposition reactions, photo decomposition reaction. Now we explain these decomposition reactions. First one, thermal decomposition reaction. When a decomposition reaction is carried out by heating, it is called thermal decomposition. For example, decomposition of calcium carbonate to calcium oxide and carbon dioxide on heating is an important decomposition reaction used in various industries. It has many uses. One is in the manufacture of cement. Next type of decomposition reaction, electrolytic decomposition reaction. When a decomposition reaction is carried out by electricity, it is called electrolytic decomposition reaction. For example, decomposition of water into hydrogen and oxygen by electricity. Last type of decomposition reaction, photo decomposition reaction. When a decomposition reaction is carried out by light, it is called photo decomposition. For example, decomposition of silver bromide into silver and bromine by light. Now move to the next type of chemical reaction, displacement reaction. It involves displacement of one of the constituent of a compound by another substance and may be regarded as a displacement reaction. Such reactions may be represented by equation A plus BC gives B plus AC. The following chemical reaction Fe plus Cu SO4 gives FeSO4 plus Cu. In this reaction, iron has displaced or removed another element copper from copper sulfate solution. This reaction is known as displacement reaction. Next type of chemical reaction, double displacement reaction. It is mutual exchange of the radicals of two compounds taking part in reaction and results in the formation of two new compounds. Such reactions may be represented by equation AB plus CD gives AC plus BD. The chemical reaction Na2SO4 plus BaCl2 gives BaSO4 plus 2NaCl. The reaction between sodium sulfate and barium chloride to form barium sulfate and sodium chloride is known as displacement reaction. Next or last type of chemical reactions, oxidation and reduction. Reaction also involves in the gain or loss of oxygen or hydrogen by substances. Oxidation is the gain of oxygen or loss of hydrogen, and reduction is the loss of oxygen or gain of hydrogen. Now we will clear the concept of oxidation and reduction by taking some examples. First one, oxidation. Oxidation is the gain of oxygen or loss of hydrogen. In first reaction, 2Ca plus O2 gives 2CaO shows the gain of oxygen, and in the second reaction, 2HCl gives H2 plus Cl2 shows the loss of hydrogen. And the second one, reduction. Reduction is the loss of oxygen or gain of hydrogen. In first reaction, CuO plus H2O gives Cu plus H2O, shows loss of oxygen. In second reaction, O2 plus 2H2O gives 2H2O, shows the gain of hydrogen. Now, if we talk about when oxygen is added to copper and copper oxide is formed, shows in the reaction, and if hydrogen gas is passed over the heated material, the reverse reaction takes place and copper is obtained as shown in this reaction. During this reaction, copper oxide is losing oxygen and is being reduced, and hydrogen is gaining oxygen and is being oxidized. In other words, one reactant gets oxidized while the other gets reduced during a reaction. Such reactions are called oxidation reduction reaction or redox reactions. After completing types of chemical reactions, now we move to our next topic. Have you observed the effect of oxidation reaction in everyday life? In this video, we will talk about the effect of oxidation reaction in everyday life. The first most common effect of oxidation reaction in everyday life is corrosion. You have observed that iron articles are shiny when new but get coated with a reddish brown powder when left for some time, as shown in picture. This process is commonly known as rusting of iron. Have you noticed the color of a coating formed on copper and silver as shown in this picture? After a long time, the copper turns green and silver turns black. From these observations, now we can say that when a metal is attacked by substances around it, such as moisture, acid, water, air, etc., it is said to corrode, and this process is called corrosion. Or also we can define it. Corrosion may be defined as the process of slow eating up of the surfaces of certain metals when kept in open for a long time. Corrosion causes damage to car bodies, bridges, iron railing, ships, and to all objects made of metal, especially those of iron. Corrosion of iron is a serious problem. Every year, and big amount of money is spent to replace damaged iron. The second most common effect of oxidation reaction in everyday life is rancidity. Oxidation has damaging effect on food and eatables. When the fats and oils present in butter and margarine are oxidized, they become rancid as shown in picture. As a result, their smell and taste change. They become quite unpleasant. This is known as rancidity. Usually, substances which prevent oxidation, antioxidants, are added to food containing fats and oils. Keeping food in airtight containers helps to slow down oxidation. Do you know that chips manufacturers usually flush bags of chips with gas such as nitrogen to prevent the chips from getting oxidized? This concludes the chapter. I hope you will understand topics in this lecture. Don't forget to hit the like button and share this video. Subscribe to our channel, keep hard work and make parents' name shine.